Where is this plane bringing me? From the warm Emirates, I'm now flying up in the cold north. Just landed. It's time to send one message home and one to my local friends to let them know I just arrived. I take my suitcase and I look for the train that from the airport will bring me in the city center. Also, if there are only 2 platforms, I must admit it's pretty challenging, as there's nothing written in English here. The funny thing is that if I take the wrong train, I won't reach the town, but I will go in another country, which is Sweden. Yes, because I landed in Denmark. I'm very proud of myself because, as you can realize having a look at the flags, I made it and I am now in Copenhagen. The train station is actually already in the city center, so I decided to do not waste any time and to leave the bags here to have a first walk around. The first thing I see is the City Hall, which is only a few steps away from Strohe, the longest street of all Europe, which is also the most famous shopping street of the capital. Thankfully, it's night, and everything is already closed. Another nice attraction, which is right here, is the enchanting Tivoli Gardens. It is an amusement park and pleasure garden which opened in the 1843 and is the second oldest operating amusement park in the world. Hello!
Hi. Welcome to Copenhagen.
Thank you!
We're in Tivoli now.
Tivoli. Tivoli's founder, George Carstensen, obtained a 5-year charter to create it by telling King Christian VIII that when the people are amusing themselves, they do not think about politics. The monarch granted Carstensen use of roughly 61,000 square meters of the 45 glacis outside Versternport, the West Gate, for an annual rent. Until the 1850s, Tivoli was outside the city. From its beginning, several attractions have been included. Buildings in the exotic style of an imaginary Orient, a theater, bandstands, restaurants, cafes, flower gardens, and mechanical amusement rides such as a merry-go-round and a primitive scenic railway. After dark, colored lamps illuminated the gardens. On certain evenings, specially designed fireworks could be seen reflected in the lake, a remnant of the moat surrounding the city fortifications. Composer Hans Christian Lumbye has been Tivoli's musical director from 1843 to 1872. He was inspired by Viennese waltz composers and became known as the Strauss of the North. By the way, if YouTube doesn't block the audio of these vlogs because of the soundtrack restrictions, what you are listening to are the compositions of this musician, played of course by the Tivoli Symphony Orchestra, which, as you can understand, still performs many of his works.
So I get a video for my friend as well.
1974, a Chinese-style pantomime theatre took the place of an older, smaller theatre. The audience stands in the open, the stage behind and inside the building. The theatre's curtain is a mechanical peacock's tail. From the very beginning, the theatre was the home of Italian pantomimes introduced in Denmark by the Italian Giuseppe Casorti. This tradition, dependent on the Italian Commedia dell'arte, has been kept alive. It portrays the adventures of Colombina, Arlecchino, and all the others. In the late 19th and early 20th century, Tivoli also hosted human exhibitions. In 1943, Nazi sympathizers burned many of Tivoli's buildings, including the concert hall, to the ground. Temporary buildings were constructed in their place, and the park was back in operation after a few weeks. The nice thing of this attraction is that it is always evolving without abandoning its original charm or traditions. Even the Queen of Denmark herself contributes to the magnificence of this happy corner of her reign. Have a look.
She's not just the Queen of Denmark, she's really is a set designer, costume designer, really takes her work seriously.
I'm very excited and it's full of anticipation, positive anticipation, I would say.
It's such an honor to meet the Queen of Denmark. I mean, not many people are able to work with her. She's a really special lady because when she comes to Tivoli, she has made it very clear that she wants to be treated as our costume designer, and that's all.
I can see that it's shaping well and that everybody is enthusiastic, I think, and I'm looking very much forward to the opening night.
Today's video is finishing, but don't forget to subscribe to my channel, as next week we are going to discover more about Copenhagen. See you next Monday. Ciao!